because he chose the God he wants to worship. People sometimes they couldn't imagine that such attitude still exists in the whole world, and definitely in Egypt. I was in Egypt like 2 weeks ago, and then I met people. I saw people from my own country and from my old church are suffering. Why? Because simply they are Christians. They're very innocent, they're very educated, they deserve a better life, but they cannot have it. They cannot have this better life. Why? Because they choose to worship Christ and became Christian. That's the only crime they did. All these people who died, what did they do? Nothing. What crime did they commit? Nothing. What did they do? Nothing. All what they did, they have a Christmas mass, and they were going after the Christmas home, and they got shot. That's the only crime they did. Maybe the whole world, they said, we're crazy when we say this. Is such an attitude exist? Yes, it exists. That's what's happening. That's what's happening when the absence of law, when the existence of corruption, when we are only minority and Islamic regime is controlling us. This is what happened. And the whole world, they don't understand that. We're not fanatic. We're not extremist. We're not attacking any religion. All what we ask, a reasonable life for our own people who live in Egypt. Our churches burned down. Our girls were kidnapped and raped. Our children were raped. People were killed. Thousands of people killed in the past 30 years in Egypt. We cried for help many times. Did anybody care? No. Did anybody even pay attention to our pain? None. Why that? Because we simply are a minority. And we are peaceful, and we're not loud enough. We can't have a gun and shoot people or kill people so the world can hear us and hear our cries. That's not what happens. We'll just simply cry in tears and pray. That's the only thing we do. Maybe that's why we're not loud enough, but we cannot do that because simply we're being taught from our God, love never fails. That's what we're being taught, and that's what we live by, to offer love. Yes, Jesus told us you can be like a sheep among wolves. But what happened? When the wolf ate the lamb, maybe their blood mixed with the lamb, and it became lamb. That's our way of thinking. That's why maybe no one knows what we're going through. Maybe nobody hear our cry or our pain. Why that? Because we're not loud. And we're here today for the first time to be very peacefully loud until the whole world. We're here. Under the City Hall of San Francisco, symbol of freedom. Out of freedom is being granted here in this place. We ask the government of the United States to interfere, to enforce human rights and freedom of religion in Egypt for Christians and for non-Christians who would like to convert and become Christians, and be banned from choosing their own God simply because they are...
Yeah!
We're here to tell the people we just need to be equally treated in our own homeland. You can't come and take our own land and then we'll be mistreated in our own country. Look to America here. What happened to the Indians? They give them privilege and tax-free, and they do all the business because they believe they were the original owners of this country. And what's happened in Egypt? We used to be the original owners of our country. Our country is being robbed or being mistreated, and now they think that just to grant us an opportunity to live there So we're here just to tell the whole world, understand our pain, understand our suffering. This is exactly a typical example for what we're saying, that they cannot tolerate the truth. They cannot tolerate to understand or hear the truth. Why? Because simply, if you know God, you speak the truth. If you know Jesus, you speak the truth. And when you don't know Jesus, you speak lies. This is what's happening, and that's what we're asking here for. We're here to demand opportunity to live, to have equal opportunity in education, in jobs, in life. We demand opportunity when we go in a police station. We'll not be mistreated simply because in our ID, our religion is written. We asked it for many years to remove the ID, the religion ID from our ID cards, but no one heard us. We demanded that we have opportunity and representative in the parliament and in other government agents. Nothing happened. The Egyptian government had a deaf ear and no one heard anything. This instance happened, police were there and nobody did anything. Day after, they burned a village called Farshut, and it was in the news. They were throwing gas and fired on the Christians' homes. Police were laughing, doing nothing about it. Such attitude we reject and we oppose, and we said, please stop this action. Stop mistreating our kids. They are innocent. They didn't do anything except love Jesus. That's the only thing they did. We're here to tell the whole world, we're not afraid. We're going to fight for our freedom. Egyptian and Coptic never were cowards. Our church offered millions of martyrs during all the era, of persecutions. We're not afraid to give more and offer more martyrs and more bloodshed to finally grant our freedom and our opportunity to live as human. And I think that's our minimum requirement, to live as human, not as a second class in our own country. We have a lot of demands, but that's not going to happen unless people convince we have the right to live. We deserve to live. We have the right to enjoy our own country. We have the right to enjoy our churches without fear. We'd like to go in our churches not feeling bad that we're going to get shot after the liturgy. We'd like to be very free, worship God in our own terms, not